Hey my lovelies, and welcome to a new video. So I'm very excited for this one because it's my very first collaboration, and I'm doing this with Boo Boo's Glitter Glory and Sassyfantasie Nails and Reviews. February is the American Heart Month, and Sassyfantasie asked me to do a collaboration to raise awareness for heart health. I'll tell you guys a bit more about that later, but first I want to introduce these two lovely ladies to you. This is Boo Boo's Glitter Glory's YouTube channel. She's a very sweet American lady, and she also has a webshop where she sells nail art goodies, and the link to that is in the About tab on her channel. I will be getting some of her products soon, and I will be doing a review on these, so keep a lookout for that video. And then this is Sassyfantasie Nails and Reviews YouTube channel, another super sweet lady, and she happens to be from Belgium just like me, so that was a funny coincidence. And I would appreciate it so much if you guys would show these ladies some love by subscribing to their channels as well. So first I'm going to show you guys the products I used for this design, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the design itself. This was number 3 from the Model 1 Solid Painting Gels. This is a red gel polish. Then I'm using number 9 from the Model 1 Solid Painting Gels. And this is a maroonish, dark fuchsia, purplish gel polish. I also used the white and the black from the Model 1's painting gels. And then I'm using this light pink shimmery gel polish as well. I'm using this Beauty Luxe Rubber Matte Top Coat, the Francesca Rubber No Wipe Top Coat, 2 colors of marbling inks, this purple and also a red. And then I'm using 2 colors of fine metallic glitter. This is a dark fuchsia maroonish color, and then a red. So because this design was for heart health awareness, I went on Google and searched for human hearts, and I found this image that I thought was gorgeous, so I decided to recreate that. We agreed to do a 3-nail design, so I'm applying the light pink gel polish on all 3 nails. And I did put 3 coats of it, curing in between coats, because I wanted the color to be nice and even and have no shading whatsoever. I chose this as my background color because I want the heart to really stand out, so I wanted a neutral color for my background. Here I'm going in with the rubber matte top coat. I'm applying this on all 3 nails again. This top coat does have a sticky layer, so I removed that after curing, and then I'm going to start with the middle nail, which will have the heart itself on it. When I'm doing intricate hand painting, I like to draw the image on the nail first, so that's what I'm doing here. This is just a rough sketch. I can still adjust the lines or shapes when I'm going in with the paint. These pencil marks wipe off with isopropyl alcohol, so if I'm done with painting and there are still marks left on the nail from the pencil, I can just wipe them off. So when I'm done with the drawing, I will go in and do the outlines first with my paint. The Model 1 Solid Painting Gels, I love those for paintwork, but I do like to add a little bit of gel polish so it makes the paint a little less solid. So I mixed both of the solid color painting gels with a little bit of their corresponding gel polish to create my gel paint. In the heart image that I found, I loved the usage of both colors in the heart and the arteries, so I'm trying to recreate my own version of this, so I'm using both colors in the outlines. By the way, I found the image on the Free Pick website. I will leave the link to the image in my description box, and as always I'll also leave the link to all the products that I'm using. Except for the 2 glitters, I have had these since I first started doing nails, so that's like 4 years ago. But like I said, they're just basic fine metallic glitters. So I want to tell you guys how I met Sassyfantasie and Boo Boo's Nail Glory. Sassy and Boo Boo have known each other for a while now, and apparently a couple of weeks ago Sassy was looking for a good video on how to do a 3D French nail. Now, I'm not saying that my video on 3D French is a good video, but anywho, Sassy came across my video and she liked it and shared it with Boo Boo. And then Boo Boo shared the info to that video and my channel on her Instagram page and reached out to me. And when I told her that I live in Belgium, she told me that one of her brand ambassadors is Belgian as well, and that was Sassy. And that's how I met those two wonderful ladies. And I'm really enjoying talking to both of them via chat, of course. Last week, Sassy told me about February being the National Heart Month in the US and how she wanted to do a collab to raise awareness for heart health. So of course I said yes. Boo Boo and Sassy are both heart patients, so it's really an important subject for them. By the way, when I'm finished painting the outlines, I cure this in my lamp. And then I'm going in with both colors to fill everything in. So I'm starting with the smaller sections and I'll do like the largest piece last. I do flash cure after each section. So what was I saying? Yeah, I'm not a heart patient myself, luckily, but I do suffer from several debilitating chronic illnesses, so I can relate to not being in control of your body and to be limited because of your health, or rather by your health. So of course I said yes to the collaboration, and I'm also very happy to be doing my first YouTube collab with these two wonderful ladies. So for the largest section of the heart, I'm filling in a little over half with the red and then the rest with the maroon. And then giving this a full cure, and then I'm going to go in with a small piece of a makeup sponge and dab this into both colors actually. And then I'm going to go over the line where both colors meet with this. So I'm holding the piece of sponge with my tweezers, and that's because I feel like for work this precise, I can never get a small enough piece that I can hold with my fingers. So it's easy to hold it with my tweezers. Then I'm filling in the maroon areas. And after curing, I'm going to go in with both colors again to darken up some areas. And like I said, for both colors, I'm working with the mix I made myself from the solid paints and the corresponding gel polishes. And then for both colors, I'm going to take a little bit of this mix and mix that with some of the black, and then a little bit to mix with some of the white solid gel paints to create a lighter and a darker shade of both colors. Wow, that sounded so complicated, but it really isn't, and you will see me do what I'm talking about in a few seconds. So here we go, I'm taking some of the maroon mix and adding some white to make it lighter, and I'm going to do the same with the red mix, and later on I'm going to do the same with both colors but adding a little bit of black. So here you see me applying some of the lighter shade of red where I want it, and I'm like fading it out with a piece of sponge. I do clean out that piece of sponge in between when I want to change colors or when there is too much paint on it, and when I feel that it's ruined, I'll just take another small piece. And of course I clean up with a gel brush wherever I need to. I'm adding some lines with the lighter shade of red. And now I'm going in with a lighter shade of the maroon or dark fuchsia color. Here I'm going in with the darker shade of the maroon color. I didn't show you guys mixing this darker shade because it was exactly the same as with the lighter shades, but of course I'm using black for these darker shades. And if you feel like you've added too much color, don't cure yet and clean off your sponge so that there's no paint left on it, and then dab over the area where you had applied your color to like dilute it. When I'm done coloring in the hearts after curing, I'm going to go in and do the outlines again. I'm mostly using the darker shades of both colors to do this, except in the areas where the color is really light. There I'm just using the base mix of both colors. So for example, here I'm just using the base maroon color, and here I'm using the base red color. The funny thing about this design is when I first saw the image that I'm recreating, I was like, yes, this is the image I want to recreate. I love it, it's gorgeous, I love the colors. But I'm not very confident with like hand painted nail art. I feel I'm not that good at drawing. So as I was about to start the design and I had to start drawing the hearts, I was like, maybe I didn't really think it through. This is going to be quite tricky, but eventually I feel like, I'm happy with the end result. And with drawing or hand painting, it's like the more you do it, the easier it gets, or the more confident you get in it. So after I'm done painting and everything is cured, I'm wiping off the sticky layer. And then I'm going to go in with a detailing brush and my rubber no wipe shiny top coat. And I'm applying it over the entire design to seal in the paint, of course, but also I want to create raised effects. I am doing this in sections again and flash curing in between because I don't want it to be one big raised blob, but I want the different sections of the heart and the arteries to be clearly visible. And when I'm finished with that and everything is fully cured, I'm going to go in and add some veining to the largest section of the heart. And I'm doing this with the tiniest detailing brush that I have because I want this veining to be really fine and delicate. So I'm starting with the maroon color and painting on the veining. And then before curing, I'm going to sprinkle some of the dark fuchsia glitter into the uncured gel. I of course forgot to press record when I was doing the sprinkling, but I will do it again later, and I did record it at that time. So I'm painting on another set of veins. And here I'm sprinkling in the glitter, then I'm going to cure in my lamp. I do cure a little longer than I normally would because the glitter covers the gel. And then when it comes out of the lamp, I'm brushing off the excess glitter, but I'm using a stiff brush because I really don't want any loose glitter pieces on my surface. And I did the same with the red color, by the way. Then I'm sealing in this part of the heart with a thin coat of base coat. And after that's cured, I'm adding another layer of the no wipe shiny rubber top coat on this section of the heart with my detailing brush. And of course, giving that a cure when it's done as well. And that's the heart nail done. And then for the other two nails, the image that I'm recreating had this abstract background with these splodges of color, and I really like that effect, so I'm trying to recreate that with the marbling inks. So first I'm putting lines, like squiggly lines of both colors on the nail, and then I'm going to blend that out with acetone. And then I'm going back in with both colors and I'm like literally dabbing some of the ink onto the nail in random spots, and I'm trying to get bigger and smaller blobs. So I'm doing the same steps on the other nail. Of course I'm switching up the design a bit so both nails don't look exactly the same, but I'm not showing this in the video because, you know, it's exactly the same steps. And when I'm done applying the inks, I let it dry for a minute and then I'm going in with my matte top coat and curing this in my lamp. And then I'm going to create the veining on both nails. So what you see me doing here, I'm lining up the heart nail to see where I want the veins to start. So I'm starting with the maroon color on this nail, and of course I didn't bother drawing it on first because you can't really do anything wrong here. You just have to create some squiggly lines, make them as random as possible, and yeah, try to make them look like vein branching. So I haven't cured any part of this yet because I will be sprinkling in some glitter like I did with the heart nail. Of course, if you feel more comfortable doing this in sections, you can always do that. So you paint on a section of the veining, sprinkle in the glitter, cure, then add another section of the veining, and so on. So when I'm done painting my maroon veining, I'm, as I said, sprinkling on the glitter, and then I will cure in my lamp, making sure I cure a little longer than I normally would. And then I painted the red veining, and here you see me sprinkling in the red glitter. I didn't bother showing you painting the red veining because you don't need to see me doing the same thing a million times. And like I said, I am repeating the same process on the other nail, of course trying to make sure both nails don't look exactly the same. But again, I'm not showing this in the video because it's the same thing. After curing, I remove the glitter with a stiff brush, and then what you see me doing here is I covered all of the glittery lines with the rubber no wipe shiny top coat. This part I did do in sections, a flash curing in between because I didn't want any of the shiny top coat to end up on the matte background. This design was definitely a challenge, but I did love creating it and I am quite pleased with the results. Don't forget to watch Sassy's and Boo Boo's videos for this collab. I will leave the links to their channels and their collab videos in the description box. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye bye! Mwah!